Good day, learners. Welcome back to our mathematics class. In today's class, we're going to continue our topic, circle geometry. But today, we're going to look at the theorem 2. In theorem 2, the angle that an arc of a circle subtends at the center is twice that which it subtends at any part of the circumference. Let's consider this circle. We have A, P, B. They are the angles on the circumference. Don't forget it's a circumference. The angle on the circumference. Now, since they are the angle on the circumference, the angle subtends at the center will be equal to 2 times angle subtended at the remaining part of the circumference. So which means that this angle here, angle xy, or x1, y1, is the angle at the circumference. And the center of this circumference is this reflex AOB. That is, the opposite side of this O is called the reflex. So this place now, which I'm pointing at, is the center for angle X and Y, or angle P. Now, to now get our angle AOB, that is the reflex AOB, it's going to be equal to 2 multiplied by angle APB. APB. So which means that this particular theorem holds true that the angle at the center will be equal to 2 times angle at the circumference. Consider this one. The angles at the circumference here, they are angle APB. So x2, y2 is the angle on the circumference, while the center of this x2, y2 is this reflex AOB. Likewise, to get the angle, that reflex angle of AOB is going to be equal to 2 multiplied by angle APB. And our angle APB here is S2 and what? Y2. So, in a nutshell, this theorem states that the angle at the center is equal to 2 multiplied by the angle at the circumference. Which means that if you are given angle at the center and you want to get the angle at the circumference, it should be half of the angle at the center. Assuming I want to get this angle at center now, it's going to be 2 times angle at circumference. If I want to get the angle at circumference, that is APB now, angle APB will now equal to half of angle AOB. You are going to divide both sides by these 2. So to get angle at center, it will be 2 times angle at circumference. To now get angle at circumference, it's going to be half of angle at what? Center. So let's see some examples to illustrate this theorem. Example 1. Find the lettered angles in the diagrams below. The first one, we want to find the letter angle, which is angle Q. Don't forget, this O is telling us that this point here, it is center O. And I want to find the value of Q. Now this Q is this angle at the center. So the angle at the circumference, angle on this circumference are this angle 41 degree, this angle here, and this angle here. But the center of this Q is 41. Now, according to the theorem, to get the angle at the center, it is twice the angle at the circumference. That is, Q is equal to 2 multiplied by 41 degree. Reason, angle at center is equal to 2 times angle at circumference. So 2 multiplied by 41, we have 82 degrees. So angle Q is 82 degrees. Now, looking at this circle B, we want to find the value of R. And we know this R is the angle at the circumference. So the angle at the circumference are this R, this point, and this point. So the center of R is this 106 degree. So our R, since R is to find the angle at circumference, is going to be half of the angle at center. So half of 106 degree. The same reason will be given. That is, angle at center is equal to 2 times angle at circumference. Which means 1 over 2 multiplied by 106 degree, we have what? 53 degree. So this angle R is 53 degree. So the next step is to look for the value, the circle C, to find the value of t and to find the value of u. Now let's consider this circle. 135 degree is the angle at the circumference. So this is the circumference now. So the angle at this circumference is 135 degree. The center of this 135 degrees is this angle T. So we are asked to find the value of T, which is the center of 135 degree. Why? When you get the value of T, you can get the value of U. Because when you look at this line coming from this circumference to this point, another line coming from this circumference to this point, they meet at a point. And sum of angle at a point will equal to what? 360 degree. That is, first of all, we get the value of angle T. Angle T equals to, that is angle at center. And I want to get the angle at center. That is 2 multiplied by 135 degree. So angle at center is equal to 2 times angle at circumference. So when you multiply 2 multiplied by 135 degree, so we have 270 degree. That is the angle T. Now, to now get angle U, we are going to have that T plus U is going to equal to 360 degree. Reason. The reason is sum of angles at a point equals to 360 degree. So our value of T is 270 degree plus U is equal to 360 degree. I want the value of my U. So 270 will move here. I have 360 degree minus 270 degree. So my U equals to 90 degree. So this is how to find the value of U. And this is how we are going to move on. So in this topic, we are going to be making use of plane geometry as well, what we have learned in our past lessons. If you are just coming across our channel for today, try to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell for my subsequent contents. And don't forget to share, like, and leave a comment as we proceed. So let's move on to the second example. Example 2. Find the lettered angles in the diagrams below. The first one, we want to find the value of x, y, and z. Now let us try to locate our angle on the circumference, which is this 119, and this z. So 119 and z, they are angles on the circumference. Now where is the center of each? The center of 119 is x, while the center of z is y. So now, I can get the value of my x. My x will equals to 2 multiplied by 119 degree. Reason, angle at center is equal to 2 times angle at the what? Circumference. So the value of x is 238 degree. I've gotten the value of my x to 238 degree. So to get the value of z, I need to get y first. Because this angle x and y, they are sum of angle at a point. That is, angle x plus y equals to 360 degree. Reason, sum of angles at a point. The value of x is 238 degree plus y equals to 360 degree. Taking this here, my y will equal to 360 degree minus 238 degree. So what do we have? We have 122 degree. So the value of my y now is 122 degree. And we know very well that y is a center for angle z. To get the value of z, and we have given the center, it's going to be half of 102 degree. That's half of y. So z equals to half of y. The same reason holds here. Angular center equals to 2 times angular circumference. Now we have 1 over 2 multiplied by the value of y that we got here is 122 degree. 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here, we have 61. So 61 degree. So this is, we are able to find the value of x, y, and z. Looking at this question B, we have a combination of some angles. In the first one here, we have a triangle here, we have a triangle here. So in that case, we have to treat it together. Now, where are the angles at the center or at the circumference? The angle at the circumference, we have angle Z is touching the circumference. Angle W touching the circumference. So this is, we have two angles here, 21 degree and nothing here. Okay. The center of angle Z is Y. While the center of angle W is what? X. Which means that the first thing to get is angle X. Because it is easier for us to get angle W. This W can be found in a triangle. And here we have angle 21 degree in this triangle. Here we have angle 90. This box means 90. So we can get the value of W easy in that place. So let's get the value of W. So that is 21 degree plus W plus 90 degree equals to 180 degree. Reason, sum of angles in a triangle. 21 degree plus 90 degree plus W equals 180 degree. So when you sum up this one, we have 111 degree plus W equals 180. So W equals 180 degree minus 111 degree. So what do we have? We have 69 degree. So we've gotten the value of W to be 69. So it is now easy for me to get the value of X now. The value of X, since S is the angle at the center, will equal to 2 multiplied by that of W. Reason, angular center is equal to 2 times angular circumference. So that is 2 multiplied by 69 degree. So we have 138 degree. So the value of my S is 138 degree. After getting this X, we can get our Y easily. That is X plus Y is equal to 360 degree. Reason, sum of angles at a point. Our X is 138 degree plus Y equals to 360 degree. Take this here. Y will equal to 360 degree minus 138 degree. So we have the value of 222 degree, 222 degree. So the value of Y is 222 degree. So since we have gotten the value of Y, which is the center of Z, so Z is now easy now. My Z equals to half of Y. Reason, angular center is equal to angular is equal to 2 times angular circumference. So we have 1 over 2 multiplied by my Y that we got here is 222 degree. 2 here, 1, 2 here, we have 111 degree. So that is the value of X, Y, Z, and W. So you can see how easy this is. Just try to focus on that theorem and some of the plane geometry theorem that we have taught in the past. Don't forget to share this, like it, and leave a comment as we move on. Example 3. In the figure below, O is the center of circle WXYZ. WXYZ. If angle XWZ, angle XWZ is equal to 33 degree, find angle XOZ, XOZ, meaning this angle down, and XYZ, XYZ. Now, let us identify the angle at the circumference. My angle at the circumference, we have angle W, that is XWZ. And another angle at the circumference is XYZ, this one. Another one is YZO or OXY. But what we are asked to look for is to look for the value of XOZ, angle XOZ. This angle down here, and angle XYZ. Now, when this W is our angle at the circumference, the center of this is this XOZ, this one here. Because angular circumference here will always be higher than the angle at the center. So when this one is circumference, the center of will be lower, which is this place. Now, the angle here XYZ, the angle at the center of this Y is this reflex of XOZ. If I mean reflex, I mean the opposite side. So XOZ, the opposite side of it, is the angle, is the center for this angle Y. Now the first thing is to now get the value of XOZ. So angle XOZ is the angular center. Is equals to 2 multiplied by angle at the circumference. And circumference of it is this 33 degree. Reason, angular center is equal to 2 times angular circumference. So we have 66 degree. Now we've gotten the value of this XOZ. But before we can get this XYZ, we must get this angle that is here. So that is angle XOZ plus reflex XOZ will equal to 360 degree. Reason, sum of angles at a point. So angle XOZ that we got is 66 degree plus reflex XOZ equals to 360 degree. Our reflex XOZ, so we take this one here, 360 degree minus 66 degree. So what do we have? 94 degree. So this angle here now is 294 degree. Fine. We have gotten the center for angle XYZ. So our angle XYZ will be half of reflex XOZ. Reflex XOZ. That is, the reason is angular center is equal to 2 times angular circumference, 1 over 2 multiplied by 294 degree. So we have 147 degree. So this is how to go about this theorem on circle geometry. That is, the angle at the center is equals to 2 times angle at the circumference. If you are a new member on this channel and you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly do so and click the notification bell so that you can be seeing my subsequent lesson. And do not forget to share, like, and leave a comments for me. So you can also lay your hands on the following assignments coming shortly. So you can lay your hands on this theorem 2. So you can solve this using the theorem 2. And we are going to see, I will see you in the next class when we'll be talking about the theorem 3. Thank you very much.